Alright. Okay, let's see. Whatever horrors you may find in these dark spaces, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings, there are no wrong decisions. There are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. Alright, there's the music. Can you hear it now? Okay, that's fine. My window is small. Let me make it bigger. Right. I haven't done this for a bit. Okay. Ah. Is this better? Yeah, I think this should be okay. Alright. Okay. Alright. Is that my previous loads? No? Okay, so I'm really starting from the beginning. Chapter 1, The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
I messed it up again? How does it look now?
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Let's see. The end of the world? What are you talking about? Have you considered that maybe you got black borders around the edge everywhere? Ah. Meh. Okay. Alright, I think that's fine now. Alright. Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to the world is because she's locked up? Killing a princess seems bad. Can't someone else do this? Forget this, I'm not doing this. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? Can someone else do this?
Unfortunately, you're the only one who can pull this off. I don't make the rules. I wish I did, but I don't. Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a
I mean, I'm
miller
thinking
or
more
a
of like the
seamstress?
political
If
implications
anything,
here.
Slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
It's a bit quiet. The game. Okay, let me adjust that.
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
I have questions. How is she able to do this?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
still have questions.
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
I mean... I can't say I'm particularly interested in just committing murder without being given good reason.
Are you serious? No, you have to do it.
No. Can I say yeah, thank you, and then just leave?
Don't mention it. It's all part of the job.
No, I can't just leave. Okay.
You make your way
Can I
up the
turn around?
short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Oh, I can't just... Oh, that sucks. I want to give the DM a hard time.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
It's better not to go on
You take the blade
without
from
a
the
weapon,
table.
so...
It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Needs a change.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Presumptuous.
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
I mean, she's a princess. I would expect an air of superiority.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Hello?
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
I haven't decided yet.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
So... I'm gonna commit to all the decisions I make for the first run. And the thing is, like, want to be a good person, but then you have to consider, in the setting of the world you're in, if it's D&D, like, there are some very serious threats that you don't want to give an opportunity. But try to play this as a goody two-shoes who doesn't know it's better, maybe. Just follow my gut. I'll drop it.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Yeah, it's a little awkward.
I know. I just said that. Now why are you here to kill me?
Believe me.
She looks unimpressed.
And do you think asking me what to believe is going to suddenly make everything crystal clear? Let's not pretend that's going to happen. As far as you're concerned, and as far as they're concerned, I'm going to say whatever I have to get out of here. That's just the dynamic of our situation.
Don't just tell her that.
Why not?
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
Sooner or later, you'll understand that I have your best interests at heart. Hopefully sooner.
How sweet. Now be a pal and help me get out of here, would you? We could figure out how to deal with them after I'm free.
Interesting. Her expression seems nicer now. I don't remember that really being the case in the demo. I think in the demo she just continuously looked very unimpressed with our date so far. Well, I do want to know your name.
Fine. What do you want to know?
Is it still gonna be nothing?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
So, I feel like... Hi Sky Moon, yeah. I feel like there's some slight differences thus far, but so far everything's following the demo pretty closely. But Asterity, I've got a question for you, because I feel like you may have the answer for this. So I always get confused, because I know that there are specific rules when it comes to addressing royalty, but then there are rules of, there are certain, I think calling someone Your Majesty is something you reserve only for, like, the king or the queen, right? Emperor, Empress. I don't know the rules, but I know that there's some rules like that.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
Too long.
Maybe a little hard to keep track of down here.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
Oh, so there's some rules depending on how high a rank you say, something else. I guess it could depend on how high your rank is in comparison to them as well.
apart. Don't bother.
Also depends on the country and the system. Okay, so there's
I'm guessing
not a
you
clear
don't
answer.
have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right?
I'm debating whether cutting, well, if the chains are tight enough, I guess it wouldn't be enough just to, like, break a couple of bones.
She is. I'm sure of it.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
And
Oh, you have to be kidding me.
I think there's a thing about,
You
like,
walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall
saying
and give them
my
a tug.
lady versus milady. I couldn't remember the distinction between the two, though. I think it might depend on whether or not you directly serve under that person.
They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Thinking tipping my hat.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't either if I was locking away some eldritch horror.
That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
So nonchalant.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance.
Hey,
If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
just break the door. Although actual full solid wood doors would be kind of a bitch to break down.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside.
I assume we should be strong enough to do it, though.
I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would
My
have been
legs are
so
too
much
puny for
easier
it.
if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to.
You know, I wouldn't have bothered kicking the door. I would have probably just charged at it with my shoulders. I've done that before.
Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Curious, does this mean I'm now an accomplice to the princess? Will the story just be rewritten? So instead of just slaying the princess, slay the princess and her knight?
The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
And I don't like threats or taking orders.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
This would actually be really fun to cosplay as, because then you can do multiple versions of the princess with a group of people.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
Oh! Oh! You can warn her! Gosh.
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back,
Goddamn nails.
but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect.
Can you imagine typing with these kind of nails?
Stop it! Stop resisting me! I am trying to get you out of here alive.
I can resist? I'm so happy about this.
The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes.
Yeah, I've seen those nails too. I just can't imagine typing with them. It's like one thing to have like the acrylic nails, because then you can just like type with the pad of your fingers. But when they curl in like that, it's gotta be hard.
I'll make this quick.
Hey, new drawing.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
Oh, she knows.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it?
It's painless.
I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
The prisoner.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Okay, let's save. Now that we finally passed most of the demo.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay, no.
Oh, don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess shouldn't stop you from saving us all.
I feel like at this point, it's just like you turn around and be like, what is the name of our country? What is the name of the town we're from, DM?
Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying.
Bumblefoot Town. I'm just thinking about our DM, considering they had literally a response for everything. And everything planned, because they knew we'd be fumbling around like idiots.
I'm inclined to agree.
Asking about
If he doesn't remember what
sandworms.
happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. And as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large? I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago.
So, I would probably in this situation ask more about what's going on and then proceed to just leave.
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
It's like I'm being shamed by my parent.
The absolute irony. That's one way to put it, I guess.
Thank you, Frey.
You really don't remember what happened last time, do you? You practically forced the princess to kill us.
That's new dialogue.
That doesn't sound like the sort of thing I'd do, which is honestly all the more reason for you to not buy into whatever self-delusions the three of you are crafting. But this is a thought experiment, so I suppose I'll continue to give you the benefit of the doubt. If I did practically force the princess to kill you, it was probably for a good reason. Did you try and free her? Did you say something really mean to me? Because if I really did what you said I did, you probably deserved it. I'm a professional, after all.
Actually, that sounds the opposite of what a professional should do.
Sure you are. Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us and now everyone's right back where they started.
This dialogue isn't new.
That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
It's been a while since I played the demo.
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely?
Don't worry about it. Unless we're gonna revisit any of those worlds, doesn't matter.
If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
I mean, if you narrate it to be so, sure.
What a conveniently ambiguous group of things for her to ruin. For all we know, the princess left the cabin and never saw another soul. Oh, how I wish that were the case, but if the princess weren't a certain, inevitable threat to the world, the four of us wouldn't be here. And yet, here we are.
How many voices can we get in our head at a single time?
You're talking in circles. No, I'm talking in facts.
Give me more information.
Just be quick about it. People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things. Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special.
So special.
You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special.
Oh, don't fall for it.
Of course you're special. Why else would you be here? Yes, right. We're here because we're special.
I'm vibing with the Skeptic.
Look, you're annoyed that you're here. I get it. I'm also annoyed that I'm here. But we're all in this together, and we're dealing with a bit of a ticking clock right now, so please just get to the cabin.
Cagey.
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to trust me here.
Let her... blah blah blah.
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you. You haven't given us an ounce of proof. You do know that, right?
I mean, you could just make up information like, oh, she's actually, cursed, or she's super powerful, but we took away her wand, so she can't cast a spell. She's responsible for the plague. You could, like, easily just make something up.
What proof could you possibly ask for? Literally anything. Fine. Check your pockets.
Oh, God.
You put your hands in your pockets
Evidence.
and pull out an envelope
Forgot about
with
this.
the words, "The Evidence," written across the front. Within, you find a note in your handwriting. It reads, The princess will end the world if you don't stop her. This is an immutable truth.
You know, that handwriting is still better than mine.
That doesn't prove anything. How do we know you didn't just forge our handwriting?
What do you think this character even knows how to write?
I wish I could tell you more, but there are some rules I have to follow for all our sakes. Please just trust that these rules are in place for a reason. I'm on your side. You mean you're on our side as long as we do what you tell us to? Exactly. Because you not doing what I tell you to do means you're putting the world at risk. I think we've got everything out of him we're gonna get. Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
No.
I'm not so sure running away is the best idea. We're not the only person stuck here. What about her?
Yeah, that's true.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
You know, this is absolutely something I would say in real life.
Somehow I doubt that, but fine.
Overbounding confidence. Hasn't failed me in not getting lost.
I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin.
You do say that in real life. You know, fake it till you make it. And then no one knows any better. And then you eventually find your way.
That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin.
2 hours later. It's
How
fine.
convenient.
It's the scenic
Everything's
route.
back on track again. Maybe the world
It's the
can
taxi
still be
route.
saved
Now give me
after
my
all.
pay. Yeah, I'm leaving again.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
I want to explore other routes, though. Other areas. Let me explore.
But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again.
Oh.
Everything is getting...
Oh.
What's going on? Where are we?
Oh, we've gone into uncharted territory.
Did we do this? Is this the end of the world? Was there ever even a world to end?
World to save. First ending? The world around you is unwound. Its physical matter replaced by textured nothingness. It is quiet. There is a distant rumble, a sound of many sounds. Undulations pulse louder as something other comes close. Oh no. Oh, I don't like that. Feelers probe across the fabric of reality. Extremities find your consciousness and wrap themselves around it. You are no longer alone. Resistance. Fingers draw claws across the glass surface of your soul. Frustration. This vessel is full of you. I need something empty I can crawl inside of. I need something shaped like me. This is a little nightmare wake up. Embrace the thoughts constricting you. I would honestly wake up at this point. It's not. Denial. Return to your destined path or face
You're
the
on a path
consequences.
in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
There
And
you
in the
slay
basement of
princess
that
once a year.
cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Did this reset everything? I guess I'll continue forward and see, and just repeat what I did earlier.
Does it? Are you...
I'm just gonna power through the text.
I'm talking... Look. She... Oh, I have to... Like I said. The more...
Actually,
Are you sick?
turn around and leave again.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around? Somehow I doubt that, but I suppose you could. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's strange.
Huh, okay. Stubbornness knows no bounds. Yeah.
That's a war. She thought we can't.
Okay, I'll continue and...
The entire blade. You take the door to her voice.
Who's there?
She said,
Don't let it.
Don't be.
You walk down. She's focus on the time.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something? How about you?
Look how. Don't you dare. It's fine.
Thank you.
I don't know what you.
So here we are. What an awkward. I.
continue my last dialogues.
Believe.
And do you think asking me what to believe is going to suddenly make everything crystal clear? Let's not pretend that's going to happen.
Don't just tell her.
I don't remember much about.
Just how long has she?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so?
Sooner or later.
How sweet. Now be a pal and help me get out. Fine. What do you want to know?
You can't.
I'm guessing you. Well,
Her shot. She is. She hesitates.
you can.
Note
To.
again.
Oh.
You know. Oh, you have. You walk up to the chain.
That would be fine.
Your shouts and plead. You try the door. You make your way back to the. Against your better judge. No, we won't have.
Oh, okay, yeah. I can't warn her this time. What? It won't let me do it this time. That's full. I don't get that option. Oh, I'm being punished. Damn it. Okay. I'm sorry.
You bring the blade. Okay. There's no going back now. Though the blade left a deep gash in her shoulder.
Are you serious? I don't know what came over you. But if we're doing this, I guess I'll have to kill you. Do you think I need both of my arms to do that? I can beat you to death with one. But I don't have to tell you that. I'll go ahead and show you.
Oh, well. Yeah, I'm sorry, but now that's at this point, I'm going to defend myself.
Thank you. You swing your arm towards her throat, the blade singing
That's
through
gonna
the
take
air.
stuff lying down.
But she's ready for it. She grabs your arm, her grip like a stone vice. You drop the blade, pathetically.
Got punished. I'm so sad I couldn't repeat it.
She lets go, and faster than you can react, rears back and hits you with a bone-shattering haymaker.
It's fine, I have that save. I'll revisit that later.
There's a ringing in your ears. You're fairly certain you can feel bone grinding against bone where she fractured your jaw, but your body isn't allowing you to feel much right now, adrenaline coursing through your system and numbing your nerves.
Enough playing nice. Yeah.
You fall to your knees. You're barely able to bring your trembling arms up to defend yourself before she hits you again.
I feel like our character should have been stronger, but whatever.
Every blow is as punishing as the first. You feel bones shatter with every impact, unknown ruptures blossoming with blood somewhere inside of you.
You poor thing. I'll go ahead and put you out of your misery.
I'm curious what would have happened if I would have gone in without the blade. If there would have been a slight difference there, considering it would have been like a virgin run through.
She places a confident heel on your chest and pushes you down to the ground.
Yes. Crush my cavities.
Her knee falls to your throat, your windpipe crushed beneath a weight you didn't think her slight form could possibly possess. It can't just end like this, right? I'm sorry, but it's over.
Step on me.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
The tower.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. A terrible sense of déjà vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
This is like my third time, dude.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me.
So, I'm curious, I feel like the best way to defeat the narrator is to not have any thoughts, but to just proceed without talking. Because then anything that you say, the narrator's going to hear and know. So you literally just have to be the quiet protagonist, I think, would be eventually how you'll have to defeat the narrator.
What does it matter what he knows? There's nothing we can do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again. She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
Yeah, but you get stronger when you acknowledge it. Yeah, that would make sense. Words have power. Who knew?
It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I.
I don't think so.
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. Of course, what were we supposed to do to stop her then? What are we supposed to do to stop her now?
So,
It's pointless.
the dialogue is much shorter this time. So he has to recall this because he kept his explanation much more succinct.
She's just a princess. Slaying her shouldn't have been difficult, but congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? What do you mean? Yes, but in this purely if it's the latter, do you think the people there, if she ended the entire world, why should we even bother? We might as well just walk up to that cabin, break her chains and let her do whatever she wants. It's all the same in the end. Just because she's capable of ending the world doesn't mean you're not capable of slaying her. Both of those things can be true at the same time. So chin up. I believe in you.
Fine, let's proceed. Well, anything different here? No, let's proceed. We've done enough talking.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie. We might as well just pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us.
Why even bother coming if you're gonna keep bitching?
can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge? I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic. You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress
I
enough.
feel like I want to do that now. Is that an option?
For everyone, yourself included. I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her, but if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand her the world on a silver platter. Rescue her? Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference between rescuing her and pledging yourself to her. Either would be terrible. So please try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world. Let's not make this harder than it has to be. If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here.
No, you have literally no sway.
The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
This door looks a lot taller. I feel quite small. There's gotta be a thing where something happens if you never bother looking in the mirror.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so small?
Yeah.
We don't feel small. We are small.
Or they're just big.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. Who cares if there's a mirror? We're all going to die anyway. And I'm sure that if we looked in there, we'd just see something sad and miserable looking back at us. We don't need any reminders of what we are. It would only make things worse.
I want to see how sad we look.
For the last time, you're not going to die unless you let it happen. And luckily for you, there isn't a mirror, so no one needs to worry about confronting a grisly visage any time in the near future.
What if at the end you do get to look at yourself, but the mirror is a representation of how many endings you've gotten?
Though, for what it's worth, if there were a mirror, I'm sure that you wouldn't find anything sad or miserable in it looking back at you. You probably look perfectly normal. Probably. Do you not know what we look like? He knows. He just doesn't have the heart to tell us.
I'm approaching the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
No, there's a mirror.
This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen.
Curse me with knowledge.
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess.
Let's do a save. Take the blade or not? Well, I mean, the blade was kind of useless, but... I'm taking the blade.
Take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
You can always stab yourself. I mean, here's the thing. If I was stuck in a loop where I constantly have to die, I at least want a couple of loops where I actually end up winning, okay?
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease. Huh. This is actually kind of nice. It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her.
Alternatively, every time we do this, we're also making the princess stronger
Should
as
we
well.
be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago, you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there.
You want to be a simp.
It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess. Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next.
Damn, how tiny are we?
But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall.
I like how she's not even like wearing a dress. She's literally looks like she's wearing a leotard, like she's ready to throw us to the ground.
The chain is nothing to her.
It's gonna wrestle
It
the
might
shit
as
out of
well be
us.
a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
I just realized, since you're a bird person, oh, our bones are probably easier to snap. Ooh. Are we a bird person? I remember there's some talk about us being like crow-esque.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants.
Oh, well, there's a little hint. Okay.
You've brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity. Drop it.
Tight
As if on
finger.
command, the blade slips from your grasp. It clatters uselessly to the floor. But we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just going to let that happen to us? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade. Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence. Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
So what if the other voice, the voice that we inherited, impacted what the narrator will say?
Kneel.
No.
Oh, are you still trying to defy me? I said kneel.
Your legs
Okay,
buckle,
Lich Lady.
and your knees hit the floor.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you told me I was destined to end the world. That thought wrapped itself around my heart. It has pulled at me since the moment I squeezed the life out of your broken lungs. I could feel its fundamental truth awaken me.
Oh boy.
The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new. And the world as it is now is overdue for alterations. It's time for me to seize my destiny, and you, little bird, will help me seize it.
So I guess I shouldn't have told her that.
Well, that gives away the game, doesn't it? It certainly does. And beyond that, it more than lends credence to our conversation in the woods. I don't love the thought that in some other reality you failed to destroy her, but what's done is done. I can only hope it helped you learn a valuable lesson. You are the only one who can deal with her, and if you don't, well, she's let you know what will happen, hasn't she? And you shouldn't have trusted us with her destruction. She is inevitable. Can't you feel it? He's being melodramatic, but he's not exactly wrong, is he? What are we supposed to do to stop her? Okay, first things first, you're going to have to stuff those pessimistic thoughts someplace far, far away and commit yourself to what needs to be done. The stakes of the situation should be perfectly clear to everyone now. If you're going to save the world, you have to have faith that you can pull this off. You can't win a battle that you've already lost in your mind.
Yeah. Oh, okay, let's save. What would you have me do? Just because... Pledge yourself to her. Let me get some dialogue first.
Know the limits of your privilege, little bird. There's an empty place at my side for you to fill, if you'll have it. But it is not a place for an equal. It is a place for something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet. This isn't about desire. This is about what I am. And I have little interest in discussing destiny with one that cannot see the divine truth that shines in my heart. All you have to do is break these chains and set me free.
Yeah, do it
Don't be
yourself.
rude. Of course she can. It's not rude to question someone who's apparently trying to end the world.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
That's exactly why it's rude. We should know our place.
I can, easily. But that isn't what I want to do. The story of a terrible and bountiful god unbounded of her own will is no story at all. It's not worthy of everything I am, or everything I'm bound to become. It isn't even worthy of what I was. The destruction in Genesis that's to follow in my wake is deserving of a song that can echo for eternity. The song of you, being so struck by my glory, so overwhelmed by what I am, that you feel you must deliver me into the world. And from your act of utter devotion and submission springs a new dawn, a better dawn. Submit now, submit later. It makes no difference. Because in the end, no matter how vainly you struggle against me, my will triumphs over yours.
I mean, I like big ladies, but I don't like big ladies with this kind of personality. Nah.
I say, perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters. Pick up that needle.
Do it. It's what she wants. No objections here.
Right, her asshole.
Don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but we might as well pick up the blade.
Love you or spineless
As
dicks.
your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but that manages to push you towards its desires like an unseen puppeteer.
Oh, so I'm blocked off of these choices. I wonder, is it because I spoke with her too much?
You reach forward and grasp the blade.
Stand.
This one's easy. See? This isn't so bad. Okay, yeah. We can do that. We were probably gonna stand anyway.
Maybe you do gotta be the silent protagonist. And in the same vein, though, I'm wondering if some of these will never become options. This is supposed to kind of be like, you don't get the choice.
You can feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all silences are broken eventually.
To defy me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet shadow, while I am brilliant radiance. Take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
What? You don't
What
have
else
to
were you
listen to her.
expecting?
You're armed. Just steel your nerves, step forward, and end this.
Oh, I got no other option, okay.
Oh, we'll end this all right. Your hand lifts the blade and brings it towards your throat. Oh, I apologize for the unclear language. End her.
Oh, I can't resist. Oh, you're right. Goodbye.
Your body is sluggish and unresponsive, actively fighting against you, but you do your best to stagger forward. One step at a time, you move towards the princess.
It's okay, we can play evenly. You kill me last time, I kill you this time, the next time you kill me.
Slitting your throat would have been a mercy, but it seems you're in need of a harsher lesson. Plunge that knife into your lungs.
I'm sorry.
That's mean.
Don't! As you take another step forward, the blade digs into your ribs, slicing through flesh with ease. It somehow feels like an entirely natural thing to do, while the simple act of walking has become an arduous impossibility. Then it slides back out, the wound burning as a small hiss of air escapes through the fresh orifice. Blood fills your lungs.
That's a terrible way to die.
Now, do it again. Keep doing it until I give you permission to stop.
Those are just words. You don't have to listen to her. It's what she wants. You, heroic one, what are you doing? Don't just let this happen. Stop him from killing you. I'm on it. Your other hand locks around your wrist, struggling to keep it from perforating vital organs. But the blade still flails towards you, managing to slice bits of skin that plop to the floor to join the growing pile of blood and gore beneath you.
This is painful.
Despite the pain, you manage to keep yourself in one piece, at least for now.
What a pitiful display. A wounded little bird thinking it can defy a god. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to hurt so much. You can choose a gentle end. You can choose to leave that punctured vessel for the next.
No, I'm committed to the bit.
Or you can pathetically struggle against yourself until the floor of this temple is painted with the bloody impressions of your futility.
When I restart, doesn't mean there'll just be a puddle of my gore here.
You continue to approach the princess, even as the repeated gouges of your blade expose bone and muscle to the open air of the basement. You know, this would be a lot easier if you gave us a hand. My influence only goes so far, and I can only juggle so many things at once. The best I can do right now is to continue to drive you forward. Believe me, this whole ordeal would be so much easier if I didn't have to contend with free will.
Okay, I want to change the audio a little bit. Just because I really prefer being able to hear the voices more clearly. Let me know if that's too quiet for you, though.
You're the one making things difficult. You're the one making us hurt. She doesn't want to hurt us. She's just doing what she has to.
Stop.
As you finish crossing the room, you fall to your knees at the princess's feet, your chest heaving as your blood pools in the crevices of the stone floor, the coppery taste coating your throat. The princess kneels down, lifting your chin with her finger as her face lowers to yours.
Your devotion is misplaced. You've surrendered to delusion. But something about your defiant spirit speaks to me. You are different than you were before. Perhaps, if you've learned your lesson, I can spare you from the release of death.
You've just brought your jugular closer to my blade.
That's a little demeaning, isn't it? Yes, how thoughtful of her. It's a mercy. Take it.
No.
I think he's given up whatever say he had at the start of all this. At least one of you is sane. She's within striking distance, and she's only negotiating now because she knows you have what it takes to put an end to her. Seize the moment before it's too late.
I hate how I can't do this. But, yeah. Eye for an eye, dear.
No! Yes. Though your body trembles, struggling to defend itself in the face of the princess's overwhelming will, you finally manage to break through, darting to her side before she can react. The wind of your freedom rushes through you, and you channel it into a decisive blow, stabbing into the soft flesh of her ankle and severing the tendons in an act of unyielding defiance.
I mean, she was literally floating earlier. What the heck is this supposed to do?
She falls to the floor, crashing unceremoniously to her knees.
Oh, okay, so that was stained glass behind her. I was curious.
But you don't give her any time to recover. Your heart pounding with determination, you plunge your blade into her chest. As you find your target again and again, she laughs, crude emotion breaking through her once stony composure as your blade cuts her flesh. We can do this, can't we? You always could. The decision to give you this task was not made lightly. You're here for a reason. It's not too late to pick up the pieces. It's not too late to toss that blade aside and beg for forgiveness. Shut up.
I can't believe you would actually strike me. You heathen! You worm! You defiler! You don't know the consequences of your arrogance!
I do wish all the voices were kind of like at the same volume with each other, because some voices tend to chime in a little bit more quietly than the rest.
Before you can strike the final blow, the princess lashes out, knocking you off your feet. There's an unsettling wet pop as your spine breaks, numbness and pain spreading through your body. As you rebound towards the ceiling in a moment of disorientated lightness, she drives her fist into your chest. Your body is crushed as she pulverizes you into the floor, the ground itself breaking from the impact. You lie there, broken, beyond pain, unable to even see what she's done to you. But the princess is succumbing to her own wounds as well. She looks down upon her body in abject horror and disgust.
You made me use my hands. I can feel myself twisting into something new, something dull, something defiled. What have you done to me?
Oh.
You're monsters and conspirators. I can't bear to watch this. The princess has been nothing but cruel to you. You should feel liberated by her fall.
I think she'll turn into the razor or the adversary.
But I don't feel liberated. I feel empty. Aside from the pain, I feel fine. She collapses to the floor.
God killer.
Her glassy
slay,
eyes
better.
watch, unblinking, yet somehow still full of anguish and fear. as the two of you perish together.
She looks sad.
I suppose we were never gonna get a happy ending here, were we?
No.
Don't let those be your final thoughts. You saved the world. That's worth something. I guess.
Here's gonna become
Regardless of
very
how you
bitter.
feel about it, it's finally over. Thank you. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 3, The Fury. How many chapters will there be? Oh! Oh!
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of the path... Okay, what the hell is that?
Oh! Why is it just meat? Oh my god, it's the voice of the broken. A loser.
I think he's upset. And what's he got to be upset about? We just killed a god.
Voice of the stubborn. Oh.
You're damn right we did. You'll get over it.
What did I miss? What did I miss? Heathens destroyed the most beautiful thing that ever was and ever will be.
Can't say I have much sympathy for you. She was bad for us and you almost got us killed. You're being too generous. He did get us killed. Alright, enough chatter. Got a thing I'm supposed to do, and if you don't mind, I'd like to do it without any more interruptions. Okay, great, you're listening. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a... If your thing is telling us about the princess, don't waste your breath. We know all about her, and it's hardly a path in the woods at this point, is it? Well, this is just great. Let me cut to the chase. Clearly you've already been here. Yeah, you think?
Actually, I don't think we have been here. This is all different, isn't it?
Yes, precisely. And if you'd given me 2 seconds to finish my thought, I would have said that. Oh, you're actually letting me talk now. Great. If you've already been here, it means you've seen things you aren't supposed to have seen, and you know things that you aren't supposed to know. This doesn't look like a path in the woods if reality seems distorted. It's because reality is distorted. So you knew this could happen. You knew we'd be able to restart like this. I know all sorts of things, which is why you should listen to me. That's not really an answer. Look, if the world around you is changing, especially all the way out here, then that means you're nearing the point of no return. Whatever happens next, that's it. There won't be any more do-overs. So you'd better take things seriously.
How is this going to be a love story in Meatland?
Don't worry. We only need this one last go at things. You'd better hope that's true, and don't let that inflated ego get in the way of doing your job.
If there's still a princess at the cabin, maybe we can salvage things. Maybe if we just grovel and apologize, things can go back to how they were before.
Oh, cut it out, will you? We need to be tough right now, and you're making it so much harder than it has to be, so stop whining.
Okay, let's do a save. So...
I
talk.
can't. Anything I say at this point is far more likely to accelerate the unraveling of this place than it is to actually help you do your job.
Seduce the Eldritch Meat Princess. I'm so tired of eating meat right now, though. I don't want to be married to meat.
In fact, I probably shouldn't have even said that. I trust that if you've been here before, it means you know how dangerous she is, and that you know I'm not lying to you about her. Really? That's it? That's all we're getting out of you?
Really, though, what is she What is she going to look like?
He just wants to keep things going the way they are. But we've been given a second chance to do right by her. She can build something better than this. She can build something better than us. We just have to let her do it.
I get it. You're conflicted. You've been through a lot, but I really have to be firm here. I will tell you one thing, which is that even now you are capable of stopping her and saving the world from ruin. You always have been, and you always will be. Do with that what you will. Then what happens? Have you even been listening? It's the end is what happens. Yeah, but is there something after the end?
Oblivion?
How am I supposed to know? The end means finality. It's not like I can just peek on over to the other side and tell you what it's like there, if there even is a there. It doesn't matter because we're going to win.
I mean, but what are we going to win?
Now that's exactly the sort of mindset I like to see. Don't let yourself be consumed with self-doubt. Don't flirt with oblivion. Just focus on the present and everything will be absolutely fine.
Okay, let's trudge on. No matter what happens next, it seems like our answers are at the cabin. We might as well see this through. Oh, squelchy noises.
Good. We're all on the same page. It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up at the cabin on the hill. You'll find the princess within, as I'm sure you already know. End her. That's it? No final words of advice? I'd rather not waste any more time. I'm sure that any advice I'd give at this point is something you've already heard. That's fine by me. Let's get moving. I'm itching for a rematch. The interior of the cabin is a place that feels long forgotten. There was once an elegance to its construction, carved marble columns holding a high arched roof, vaulted windows letting in the weak starlight.
Wyatt, there's no door, there's just the mirror.
But that is how it was. Now there is a growth that has overtaken it. A viscous fluid seeps from cracks in the stone walls, and it congeals into chaotic streaks of writhing nerves and wet clumps of living meat. That's horrible.
Look at, yeah,
You did this.
admittedly.
The only furniture of note is a pulsating pedestal, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Oh, whoops, I did not mean to do that. You didn't mention the mirror last time, either. Why?
A mirror? There is no mirror. We've done this already. Try to keep up. The repetition is maddening. I don't know what to tell you. There isn't a mirror because I would know if there was a mirror. You're either seeing...
Oh. Ah! Misclick.
What are you trying to say, exactly?
He thinks we've lost it, that we're succumbing to madness, that something in us has broken.
I love how just simple the knife looks.
That's an unnecessarily melodramatic way to describe a hallucination, but sure. I'm not going to waste time arguing with any of you.
I wonder if the knife is ever going to look different or always the same.
It went away after we touched it last time. Let's just do it again. You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it. As if you don't see it. You really don't, do you? How strange. It really is just like last time. Are we really hallucinating? Why here? Why now?
Smash it. Smash it to pieces. It's the only thing keeping us from her.
God, I'm thinking like the voice of the broken and the voice of the one that really simps out, the romantic something.
Don't you want to know what we'll see in there? We won't be able to see anything if we smash it.
Nah, I'm with you. Let's smash it. Let's get violent already.
Murder hobo.
Do whatever you want with it. The mirror isn't real, so how you handle it doesn't matter, aside from wasting dangerous amounts of time.
I'm gonna wipe it.
You reach forward and drag your hand across the door leading to the basement. As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the stone floor, its ancient hinges moaning as it reveals the dim path ahead. Why am I not surprised? You
Oh,
step
we didn't grab the
forward
knife!
into the
We didn't grab the
darkness.
knife! Consequences!
The stairs leading down to the basement are at once both narrow and grandiose. A high-vaulted ceiling stretches up into a gloom beyond your sight, while walls wet with tumorous growths press in uncomfortably at your sides. You feel both unprotected and trapped, at once exposed and claustrophobic.
Thinking about illithids now.
The air is thick, its odour an oppressive violence, the metallic scent of fresh blood twisting with the nauseating embers of charred remains. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favour. Her voice, a bellowing rage, roars up the stairs.
Was severing the tendons of my ascension not enough for you? Was it not enough to rend my divine heart? Come, see the horrors you've wrought upon my flesh, and feel my hands set upon your throat.
She's so angry with us. Why? Why did you desecrate her? Why couldn't I stop you?
Limp dick, that's why.
Got to stop thinking about her like that. It isn't doing anyone any good. She's not some untouchable god. She's an abomination. And we're going to put an end to her once and for all.
Whatever she is now is our fault. If she's an abomination, then what does that make us?
She was gonna end the world last time. If I might interject, you didn't make her into an abomination. She's always been what she is. It's why you're here, and it's why your task is so important. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. The chamber's walls are painted in blood, a deep, sickening red that drips down in clotted streams onto the charred corpses that make up its floor. This place reeks of torment, of ripped skin and burning bone.
Those corpses look a little weird.
The princess stands in its center, muscles flayed and bare and weeping, draped in a tattered dress of her own skin. Her heart beats from its place in her open chest.
Do you know what I'm going to do to you?
Her crown is growing out of her head.
There's not so much a moment of hesitation before she steps forward. Her chains pull taut, holding fast as she strains against them. The cuff around her wrist digs deeper into her skin. Blood drips from the place where metal meets flesh. And then, with a nauseating
that's what I
sound,
thought.
the skin tears. It plops to the ground, and she pulls her red, glistening arm free from her bindings. She is loose, and she is coming for you.
Oh boy, should have had that knife.
Let her end it. It's the punishment you all deserve for what you did to her. It's the punishment I deserve for letting it happen.
Screw that. We can win. We've done it before and we'll do it again, only this time we'll make it out the other side. Hell, she's practically done most of the work for us.
Not really?
We don't even have a weapon. It doesn't matter. I refuse to go out any way that isn't kicking and screaming.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Time happened. You happened. But none of that matters. We're together again, and I'll have my pound of flesh.
She bounds across the room, her fists ready, her heart set upon your destruction. With a horrifying squelch,
Oh.
You are unwound.
Whoa, well, absolutely a burb. Look at those feathers.
I hope you weren't planning on dying. We're going to make this last forever. Huh. I feel cold. I've never felt cold before.
Oh my. It's the hands! Oh, so she changed too much? True to her word, you do not die by her hand. Something has taken her away, and it's left something else in her place.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her?
Is the narrator gone again?
And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Yeah, the narrator's gone.
He is. Does that mean the world ended?
The world didn't end. We're still here. Come on. We just need to keep going.
Figures the world would end and leave us with all this nothing.
There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should.
Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
I don't want to look at us.
Approach.
I'm begging you, don't do this.
Actually, why are you scared?
It's different now. It feels, I don't know, final.
You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. You are alone in a place that is empty. It is quiet here. Proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin. Approach her. You recognize the presence inhabiting the shell. It is the entity that dwells in the spaces between.
Something returns to the long quiet. It has surrendered its path of annihilation and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
Ooh, I actually do want to explore some of these dialogues. I'm going to do a save here. Destroy your body. You're what I met before.
Vague recollections, empty tunnels without a mouth. I am sorry if I frightened you.
I haven't realized there are nails keeping her open.
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
What do you think I am?
I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks. Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one is desecration. She placed the weight of her agony on you. Yet it is she who unwound herself. But there is passion and empathy in her misery. She will make for a burning heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally found peace. You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us. She is part of me, and part of me is her.
But were you always the princess, or are you just making her a part of yourself?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends? I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free. How can the world have ended if we are talking? I know only that they are. Nothing, as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom. More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home. Everything, until we meet again. I have not lived. I am not afraid to die. Then we will be here forever, as we are now, unfinished, dry, hollow. You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold. How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
Okay, so it's a thing of get all endings.
If you need time, then I'll wait with you.
Wait forever.
You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage? You'll always come back to the box. asks, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
Oh! The game closed on me. Okay, well. Let me open it back up. Was not expecting that. Alright. Oh, well. Seems like we want to get every ending in order to get the true ending. I guess the true ending will be different flavors? Or just every ending will be different flavor?
You have returned to me.
Oh!
Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side.
Oh my. Shoot. I really want the screen to be visible. Oh no, it's not popping up for me. So, you can't see it right now, but basically what happened is the moment I open the game back up, it goes straight back to the scene with the meat hands, and she says, "You have returned to me, though you were gone mere moments. I never left your side." I'm trying to get it back up. Ah, okay, there we go. Okay. All right. Okay, make me forget.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Everything goes dark and you die. An unwound vessel, bring the fury to her.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay, so off to a new start. This would actually be a good time to end. I could do one more thing, but if I do that, I want to like do it all the way. So I think I'm going to end this here tonight, and I will continue tomorrow and go for as many runs as I can, probably past midnight if I can do it. Alright, well that was interesting. Wasn't quite expecting that. Okay. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching. This was fun. I can't wait to see everything else. Good night and happy Priya Friday.